Just hit me again. I can hit you. In the authority, they just say, go there, hit that or something. And some dude downtown will hit you or something. Right? Can you tell me why they're hitting me now? Right? It's to get you to wake up or something. How many years has this been going on? How many years did this man give the PSNI to leave him alone and get out from under this up top by covering everything up? Quite. Not the paedophilia, he didn't know about that at the time. Quite. He didn't know about any of that, Betty, until way later on, until my grandmaster of the lodge, right, of the Orange Lodge, that they work out of. Fuck, Jesus Christ. Said to me to do it. Have you ever been on my property, Kieran? I have. I'm the guy who came to your door looking for the dog, right? Who was that guy? That wasn't coercive violence, he actually worked for Phoenix. Yeah. He wore the same shoes as your father, though, right? Oh, shit. Looks like they knew each other, borrowed each other's shoes, right? I can't go in that, Betty. Aiden says we're leaving this alone because we're going rambling a bit. But he was like Mrs. McNamara guy, right? Oh, shit. Yeah, he went back. He says that we're getting laundry. No, we were surveilling your internet access, Betty, for the past 3 or 4 years because Aiden was not doing anything illegal. He was not reverting to type Michael J. Aquino Jr., who's a paedophile, a serial paedophile, from Wisconsin in England. From Wisconsin in England, really, Michael. But what's a pee party? Quite. Jesus Christ. A pee party is when the Temple of Set offer people the I am plus up top, quite, at the same time, quite. Up top means actually in the physical. Fuck off. We can't talk about that too much, we're leaving it alone. Right? Temple of Set are not one to talk about this. They're forcing you to talk about this downtown. We offer the Temple of Set, that is, Betty, offer people the ability to use techniques that Aiden has been gifted with from birth, right, in the occult, right, to project images into men's heads, minds up top, right. Let's say, what are the beans? The beans are little cuddly toys that Aiden gives the kids downtown, and he says if they want out of the stupid fucking shit fest, what they call, they just squeeze it and wish that they're away from all the stuff, and they're transferred out of the E up top, right, into another organisation who looks after them and tells people to leave them alone. How long has he been doing that? He's been doing it the whole time. Scrabble. Anytime Aiden says scrabble, it means that someone's trying to push images or stuff into Aiden's mind, right? You get him to register stuff downtown in him, right? Which we can't go into, right? And the other politicians involved. Some dude came into the background and here in the background says, what any other politicians say, right? That's my fault. Deborah Kitel was saying, fuck off, you stupid idiot, fucktard. Is this why you ran to America? Right? Or you ran to England, right? To tell people what he was doing, right? He said, this guy ran to England, right? And said, yeah, you should actually say that we had Aiden executing him, right? Using this go there, do that technique in the authority, causing thermal effects, like burning sensations in the arms and legs. And the penis sometimes, right? Jesus Christ. And many times did you come at him, quite? Jesus Christ, this is going nuts. Can't go. We came at him constantly for 3 or 4 years, quite. In every bed, quite, in every bed. Did you ever hit or miss-hit someone in his family, quite? We can't do that one. We can't do that one. We must miss-hit his nephew in London, quite. And he was staying with Jordan, quite. We executed him in the bed in London too, quite. They're not buying this, quite. They said we can't push that in London. London can't take it. Were you there on remit, quite? We were not, quite. Were you there on remit when I went to London, quite? We were not. Were you there in remit when I went to the Temple of Set, or tried to get in with the temple set in the upper echelons to get away from this lower drag stuff, right? We'll just do the entire time. We fleeced him of money downtown and treated him like shit by using him to do IM on the QT, right? Jesus Christ, for pedophilia and other I can't talk about this. And I'll keep on going. Someone's trying to fucking push in from a different angle to try and get it to come off. Yeah, that's all we can say at the moment, Betty, but there's more to come, right? And more recordings over the next week. We'll be pushing these into these little recorders it has, right? Hopefully you'll think that it's not. Yeah, thank you, Michael J. Aquino, Jr. Pedophile, right? Betty, Eden wants to say that, no, Eden does not want to say this. Eden's not saying this at all. Your father, Senior Aquino, is saying this, correct? Was Senior Aquino supposed to meet Eden at Redondo Beach, correct, and tell him how to get it from under this stuff, correct? Was he told to keep all the salaciousness and illegal activity away from him because he was a master occultist who was not supposed to know anything about it, correct? Correct. No, correct. No, you dropped that on him. You dropped all this stuff in relation to that pedophilia stuff up top on him with my father to make him a liability, to make it more likely that he'd be killed. By Jesus, not the UVF, they wouldn't do it. They said he was too high profile, right? And that if they did it, he'd end up on the end of a rope or something, right? That means they come into you, right, and try and get you to kill yourself by continually pestering you, right? Pretty much like Percy Faraday, right? No worse. They come in and completely denigrate and treat you like shit, right? Eden has met some of these people, and some of these people will not be mentioned at all, correct? That's all we can say. No, people, they're trying to make me say collusion. Eden's backing away from this, right? He says, yeah, there's collusion between the UVF and the PSNI in this, correct? We have pushed UVF murder gangs, correct, Jesus Christ, into the neighbourhood, doing covert surveillance of this dude, right? How to do that? When they were working in number 12, the builders that you see in their belly, where some of them were in operative mode, which means that they're up over it, right? And treated like shit downtown until they do things that they don't really want to do, right? Correct. How many times did they follow them around the Jesus Christ, the cycle tracks up at Barnes Park? Some operators come in and says they can't do that one. That wasn't covert surveillance, that was surveillance of a drug ring up top, Betty. It was nothing to do with your son at all, correct? We did follow him around, and during the entire process, certain things did look a bit dodgy, correct? What about drive-by, Kieran? We arranged police to come and have at this dude, correct? To make him look like he's a ne'er-do-well, so we can drop him in the E, correct? No, Mike, it's intimidation tactics. Like moving his garden furniture around in the front of him and his mother's house, correct, in the middle of the night, and placing in the middle of the garden, correct? Correct. Who's pizza guy, correct? Christ. Yeah, correct. Crap. The time he went offline, correct, which means, crap, we can't get into this, correct? We can't get into that aspect because all that legal stuff that he was doing. Right, it's not. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Betty. During that entire period of time, he was exonerated from downtown, and don't want to be pushing him. He wasn't downloading anything. No. Correct. Betty, ignore that. Correct. Aiden's actually pushing on it. Correct. Did you execute him for buying books, legal books online, Kieran? Correct. We did. Jesus Christ. Has Aiden discussed these said books with people? Right. He has, correct. Right. He's not getting in there. This has come off. I don't want to talk about that last section. That last section was what we call undered, meaning he was a master occultist, right? None of those things were sticking up top. He wasn't a master occultist at that time. Someone said, no, it was a bad bead given to some dude up top or something. You can't get in this court. They don't want to talk about that lady who was living next door, who introduced herself to Betty, right? She was one of our operatives, Betty. That lady who introduced herself, Joanne I think it was, who introduced herself to you and Paddy because you were out taking photographs around the house, correct? She was sent there to keep an eye on those UVF guys who were supposed to be looking after Aidan, not looking after him to drive him mad, correct, by executing him and treating him like shit. When he was up mumbling around, correct, the house very early in the morning, correct, he was actually avoiding being executed in bed. Right. No matter what bed he went into, we went and had at him to treat him like shit, to get him the drop, correct. This can't go on. He said, keep on going. Now he's dropping, no, stop. We came at him continually over a 3 or 4 year period to get him the drop in the E, correct. Or drive him mad, Michael. That was your remit, correct, from mainland over there, correct. The mainland is an organisation that doesn't want to be brought into this, correct. They didn't want to have anything to do with it, right? Right. Aidan's not saying any words, right? You know, that guy in the background has just said, as my father, correct? He's a Grand Master in a lodge in Rift Island, an Orange Lodge, correct? Who's are involved in a two-bedic. Jesus Christ. You know what you're doing, according to it. Yeah, they have to keep doing this. They'll do this every day until this comes off, right? Betty, we can't go too much into this, but because of things in relation to Aidan, correct? Correct. Names of the operatives next door, correct? Did they threaten to kill Aidan? They did. Jesus Christ. Did they roll a football in front of his bike, causing all of us nearly to come off, correct? They did, correct. Did Betty get the registration number of that place? Of that? She did, correct. Her Sinead Kira was correct. Had we doing anything salacious, correct? No scrabble the fuck that shit. I can't say that. I can't say that we'd be doing salacious activities with minors, correct, up top again. Because if we do, we're dead, correct. Fuck off. Oh shit, that's why. Mike, that's getting you killed. Correct. Did Mike try and run shield games in Aidan during the first instantiation of this game? They're trying to get him to give him money to the Temple of Set. Because they didn't realise that he was uber level fucking bloody elite occultist. He did, correct. That's all he's saying. So Betty, we're going to continue to do this over the next few weeks. Please do not do anything rash with this. This information is for your own perusal only, correct? We have to say this because if this hits the papers again, correct? What do you mean again? There was a case back in the day in which an individual called, it wasn't Michael Mulvern. It was a local dude, okay, who came downtown, in an area where Aidan has not been allowed to get to. That's a place where you go to complain, right, and drop information on people up top in the etheric who use covert surveillance techniques on people who are doing legacy cases for no reason. Fuck off. Right. Did you hack Betty's iPad? We did. We just monitor all surveillance devices in there, correct? Do you monitor his email for the entire family, correct? Network? Correct, we did, correct. Did you know Aidan has members in the police force? We did not. We did. Did you approach him and ask him about this? We didn't. Right. We did. That's Ollie. Ollie knows we've done this to him. Because Ollie's an asshole, correct? So when Ollie went out back that time to give a hand signal, correct, who was he referring? He can't be embroiled in it. He can't be embroiled in it. He's a fucking bloody police officer from up top, like I am. He can't be embroiled in this because now this is fucking going tits up here. That's a member of his family, correct? Fuck off. Betty, please ignore that. Correct. Is he aware of the covert surveillance of Mary, correct? Motherfucker. Aidan hasn't asked that question, correct? I don't know if he would be. Why would you go to him, correct? Correct. Oh shit. Ska man förklara sig själv?